from all around your lawn. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.
Good morning and welcome back to the GDFL Netball Show. Joining us this morning we have Emma Jones from Belmont Lions. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Very well, thank you.
That's good. Just, Emma, could you tell us a little bit about your role at Belmont? You're taking over the role this season.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your role and what you're doing there at Belmont?
Sure. I'm doing the A-grade coaching and helping coaching the Bs just for the training because our B-grade coach is actually in our A-grade side, so we're doing a bit of a squad training together, and it means we can bring up and down the players. I'm also helping Julie Foster with a bit of the coordinating and things like that of the netball. So
I know you are. You're a very busy girl.
So doing a bit of that and just on the committee as well, just trying to get netball going forward at Belmont.
Yeah, great, which is wonderful, and I can see that's really working. It's a club that I can see is going to go ahead. Just tell me a little bit about your background. Have you coached before? You know, is this something that you're long term or short term, or can you tell us a bit about you?
I grew up in Tasmania, so and it was pretty much an expectation at my school that if you played at a high level, you should coach. So I pretty much coached right through from a year 8 onwards. And then I do certainly have a love for it and like putting back into netball. When I came to Melbourne to university, I coached at Penley and Essendon Grammar School to get a little bit of extra money, but you know, enjoyed it as well, so it was double bonus.
That's maybe where I've seen you before.
And then when we went to London for 4 years, I also helped coach and was the president of the Wildcats club over there. So,
what a background! That's fantastic. And I just noticed, just on that, your coaching is tremendous. I noticed that the players can sometimes, when they're losing a little bit, get a little bit sloppy. You probably and you know, cause those contacts and obstructions and just sort of not care. I really noticed with Belmont on Saturday, because I umpired that game, that didn't happen, which is tremendous coaching and to be commended on that, because that's hard to keep players focused on not just going, oh, you know, I'll just contact and obstruct. So. Yeah, that's wonderful.
I think it's really important that they don't just focus on the whole game, and they're focusing quarter by quarter and not just on the score, but how they're going as players as well. And I think that's how you can keep the discipline in the game, rather than looking at the score and going, gee, we're 40 points down. So
yeah, and that's probably right for you, isn't it? The discipline in the game is, you know, kept with something like that, because you've got, I was just talking with you before, we've got no wins on the board yet. How are you feeling about that? How's the club feeling? How's the morale? What are you doing? You said quarter by quarter. You're keeping on, you know, looking at that.
Yeah.
Tell us how you're doing that.
I think, you know, look, we've also had Winchelsea, which I think was a really tough game to have in your third round. So
they're so good, aren't they?
Oh, they're great. And, you know, they're the benchmark. So when we look at it and we're breaking it down quarter by quarters and we're going back to the statistics to go, what areas are we actually needing to improve on? And, you know, looking at that game, it was 15-12 in the third quarter. So that's the positive.
I know. We just commented on that, which is so positive, and you've got to draw on.
And that's what you have to focus on, definitely. And I think we've had 3 of our girls away for the last 2 games as well, who would be our starting 7, but also not allowing us then to make really a lot of changes, because with them not being there, I mean, the big graders have stepped up and that's been fantastic, but it's only the 3rd round, and I think you just have to, it's certainly a development year for us, so we're just going to focus on what we've done really well and what we can do in the games forward, and just hoping that each time when we come back to those teams that we do better than we did the game that we played them before.
Absolutely. How are you finding the actual league, like the GDFL as a league? This is your first year here? Or
I played last year in B grade, but had to stop 3/4 of the way through because I was pregnant. But yeah, I think it's a great league, and I think it's fantastic having the netball football together. I haven't had that growing up, and I've really enjoyed that, and I think it's a great league to be part of.
Yeah, it's just good to hear that, I guess, from somebody from an outside.
Absolutely.
Who's had a lot of experience just to come in and you know, I think a lot of people have been around for so long, they just sort of take it for granted, that I think it is nice to hear that.
It is nice, because, you know, some of the hard things that we all do, and particularly myself do behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know about, it is paying off. I can see it, and I saw if I can comment about you guys on Saturday, I saw that it's a young side, that you are just focusing on your game. Winchelsea was just tremendous, and the girl that they have brought in centre that I wanted to briefly mention as well, I spoke with Jason about that. She was just amazing. Jacinta Todd, boy, she was unstoppable, and I think for her, as a role model for the smaller, more stockier players. She wasn't the tall, slim ones that, you know, he does have in the side. And you guys, just your centre, just kept at it, and you know, I saw your players touching each other and just saying, you know, keep going, well done, good job. You know, it was just fantastic, and I just think that discipline is just awesome. And Winchelsea spoke about that after the game, because sometimes players can get a bit sloppy and start the contacts and instructions, which can hurt their players and harm other players, and they don't like, coaches don't like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was fantastic to see that some of the hard stuff that we are doing in the league is paying off, and you can see coming in from that. So are there some things that you're going to work on this season? Are you planning on long term with Belmont?
I would hope so. It's certainly something that I've got a 2-year contract with them, so I certainly hope that, you know, that's
right. So 2-year contract.
And I think for this year, it's very much just changing the way that we do as the approach to it to start with. You know, we've got a coach for each team. We've started training twice a week so that we get our fitness up and things like that. Because I think we've, you know, last year...
Do you do that, Fee?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good. I think there's a few that do it twice a week, just jumping in on there. But yeah,
so,
that's good.
You know, and that's the start. And then I think from now we're going to have to look at, you know, recruiting and getting those players for A grade to really make us go up the ladder. So got some great players. If we could stretch them and make them a bit taller, that'd be fantastic. But that's not going to happen. So we've got to look at where we fall down and where we can improve. And it's certainly something that hopefully in the next few years we can keep on going at.
Look, I'm from Geelong West, and we've been down there, and we're slowly getting there. Our margins between the big teams are getting smaller and smaller, but you know, you Winchelsea, you Werribee, they are the benchmark. They are fantastic, and they've been playing together for so very long. That it is about keeping girls together, working with them, recruiting a couple of people in there to make that change. So you know, you will get there. You will get there.
And you want to keep the girls there. You don't want them to move on because they're getting frustrated because things aren't working. And that's what you want to show them, is that we're getting better and better, and if they stick with us, then we're going to get further up the ladder in the next few seasons. And
I guess, you know, I can say you certainly weren't disgraced on Saturday in any way, shape or form. I was really proud to see those two teams, and proud of all the teams, but particularly to see two teams go out there and just have a great time. And, you know, Jason, I did hear from the bench say, you know, you're getting a little bit rubbishy, you know, pick up, because they did get a little bit sloppy on some of the occasions, I noticed. So he was right onto that and said, you know, that's not going to happen. So it was great, to do that. So, look, thanks so much, Emma, for joining us this morning. It's great to chat with you.
Emma. Welcome
to the league, the GDFL League, and good luck for the season, and keep at it, because you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.